आई गेस बस एक 2-3 मिनट और वेट करेंगे, 9:30 तक पढ़ाई करेंगे। थोड़ा और रुकिए, 8:06 हो गए हैं। हेलो। हम्म। तो थोड़ा सा और वेट करते हैं, 2 मिनट और बस। बस 2 मिनट और वेट करते हैं। 3 मिनट चल लेते हैं, 8 पर स्टार्ट करेंगे और 9:30 तक पढ़ाई करेंगे। 9:30 तक, 8:08 से। ठीक है, थोड़ा और वेट कर लेते हैं। ऑल राइट, तो वी विल बी स्टार्टिंग। ऑल राइट। हम्म। शुरू करते हैं। जो आपके डाउट्स होंगे, बहुत सारों का जवाब अभी ही आ जाएगा। तो जब मैं बोलना बंद करूंगा तो बहुत सारे लोगों के डाउट्स का जवाब आ चुका होगा। ठीक है। तो आज क्या क्या हुआ? आज हमने मेलिंग लिस्ट बनाया। अच्छा, इनफैक्ट कुछ भी स्टार्ट करने से पहले अभी आपके हाथ में पेन एंड पेपर होना चाहिए। पेन एंड पेपर। आप मेरे साथ कोड नहीं करेंगे, चैट नहीं करेंगे। आप पेन एंड पेपर रख के लिखते रहेंगे। जो आपको डाउट्स आएंगे वो लिखते रहेंगे। डाउट्स के लिए गूगल फॉर्म उसमें डाल देंगे। ठीक है जी। मुझे मालूम पड़ जाएगा आप मुझसे कुछ कहना चाहते हैं। तो पेन एंड पेपर रखिए। आपके मन में कोई डाउट आता है उसे लिख लीजिए, लेकिन क्लास के दौरान उसके लिए परेशान ना होइए। क्लास के बाद उसको गूगल फॉर्म में चढ़ा दीजिएगा। तो पेन एंड पेपर रखिए अपने हाथ में। सभी लोग अपने पेन पेपर ले आए। मैं इसलिए बार बार बोल रहा हूँ ताकि जिसके पास पेन पेपर ना हो वो उठा ले पेन पेपर, उसे मौका मिल जाए। डाउट आपको आएंगे, मैं बीच बीच में चैट खोलता रहूंगा, तो वहां भी बात करते रहेंगे। ठीक है। और वो डाउट्स वाला गूगल फॉर्म है, वहां पर भी आप भर दीजिएगा। अगर पढ़ाई से रिलेटेड डाउट है तो मैं बीच में चैट खोलूंगा, वहां पर होगा। कुछ और डाउट है तो उस गूगल फॉर्म में पहुंचा दीजिएगा, उसके फ्रीक्वेंटली आस्क्ड क्वेश्चन बना के मैं नाडोज पर डाल दूंगा। ठीक है जी। अब बात करते हैं रिकॉर्डिंग की। पिछली क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग मैंने आपको सुबह मेल से भिजवा दिया था। मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको कि पिछली क्लास का रिकॉर्डिंग आज आपको सुबह मिल गया था। मैंने ये बनाया है एक fjp1@webcoding.com बनाया है। नॉट दिस मेल, हियर इज द मेल। या ऑलराइट। तो ये रहा। हाँ जी। तो सुबह से हम इस पर कॉरस्पॉन्ड कर रहे हैं, fjp1@webcoding.com। ये एक मेलिंग लिस्ट है। ठीक है। रिकॉर्डिंग से रिलेटेड से बारे में कुछ और बताता हूँ, कम्युनिकेशन चैनल के बारे में बताता हूँ। एक कम्युनिकेशन चैनल बना है fjp1@webcoding.com। उस पर मैं और आप बात कर सकते हैं। आप लिखोगे मुझे मिल जाएगा, मैं लिखूंगा आपको मिल जाएगा। ठीक है। तो ये कम्युनिकेशन चैनल है, इसको चेक करते रहिएगा। अपना मेल दिन भर चेक करते रहा कीजिए। मैं यहीं पर आपसे कम्युनिकेट करूंगा जब तक नाडोज नहीं चल जा रहा है। ठीक है जी। तो आज की क्लास हम जूम पर ही करने वाले हैं। हमने कल डिसाइड किया था कि जब तक नाडोज पे सभी साइन अप नहीं हो जाते तब तक हम जूम पर कॉल करते रहेंगे, क्लास करते रहेंगे। अब कल fjp1@webcoding.com पर क्या आया था? जो कल हमारी क्लास हुई थी उसका रिकॉर्डिंग मैंने आपको भेजा था। मैं आपको पहला मेल दिखाता हूँ। तो अभी भी अगर आपकी कुछ क्लास मिस हो जाएगी तो ज्यादा चिंता करने की जरूरत नहीं है, रिकॉर्डिंग आपको मिल जाएगा इस क्लास का। ऑलराइट, FGP1 तो हियर इज इट, हियर इट इज। ठीक है, ये रहा। तो मैंने आपको बताया था मिनट्स ऑफ द मीटिंग कि नाडो साइन अप क्रैश हो गया था क्योंकि हमारे पास 3000 ओटीपी ही थे, वो फ्री यूजर्स ने खत्म कर दिए और उसके बाद इनवैलिड ओटीपी आने लग गए। फिर कम्युनिकेशन चैनल नहीं था तो जूम का वेबिनार भी गलत सेंड हो गया, तो हमने आपको दोबारा कॉल करके जुटाया और 10 बजे हमने क्लास की। सभी आए थे तकरीबन। हमने ओल्ड पेपकोडिंग साइट पर गेटिंग स्टार्टेड लेवल 1 से उठाया और प्रिंटिंग इन जावा और वेरिएबल्स किए थे। होमवर्क में एक एमसीक्यू दिया था, तो वो आज होमवर्क अभी डिस्कस होगा 2 मिनट बाद। अभी आप चिंता ना कीजिए चैट करने की, चैट इसलिए बंद है ताकि आप डिस्टर्ब ना हो, वरना ना पढ़ाते हुए आप चैट पे लिखने लगते हैं, मेरा भी ध्यान भटकता है, आपका भी ध्यान भटकता है। तो आप लिखते रहें, जो भी डाउट्स आपके लिखते रहें। ऑल राइट, कोई दिक्कत नहीं होगी, डाउट आपके रिजॉल्व हो जाएंगे। ठीक है जी। फिर था, मैंने आपको जो कल की रिकॉर्डिंग थी वो भेज दी थी। कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि वो रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं देखी जा सकती क्योंकि सुबह सुबह उसके ऊपर वो लगा हुआ था, साइन इन लगा हुआ था, शाम को वो सबको विजिबल थी। क्लास के अंदर नोट्स मैंने लिए थे, लेकिन मैं ना नोट्स सिर्फ लास्ट स्क्रीन के ले पाया, तो आज मैं ध्यान रखूंगा, शुरुआत से ही नोट्स लूंगा। ठीक है, तो आपको रोज क्लास के बाद मैं एक मेल भेजूंगा जिसमें रिकॉर्डिंग रहेगी और नोट्स रहेंगे। कम्युनिकेशन चैनल है fgp1@pepcoding.com। हो सकता है सब इसमें एडेड ना हो, तो चिंता ना कीजिएगा, मैं गूगल फॉर्म फ्लोट करूंगा, जिसका साइन अप नहीं हुआ है या जो fgp1@pepcoding.com में एडेड नहीं है, आप मुझे बता पाएंगे। आज ही क्लास में करेंगे हम ये एक फॉर्म, जिससे हम ये पता करेंगे कि मेलिंग लिस्ट में कौन नहीं है और कौन अभी साइन अप नहीं हुआ है, और साइन अप होकर कौन अभी FGP1 नाडोज 1 पे नहीं देख सकता। ठीक है, फिर मैंने कहा था कि हम इंडिविजुअली कॉल करेंगे, सबको साइन अप कराएंगे। हो सकता है साइन अप हो जाए सबका, हो सकता है ना हो, तो सबका नहीं हो पाया है। हम शाम को जूम की क्लास में मिल रहे हैं, इन एनी केस हम जूम पे ही मिला करेंगे, रोज मिलेंगे जूम पे ही। डाउट्स और बाकी कोलैबोरेशन के लिए नाडोज रहेगा, वेबिनार के लिए जूम रहेगा। ठीक है, आपने डाउट्स, ये पुरानी बात है कि आपने डाउट्स और गूगल फॉर्म भरा था, उस गूगल फॉर्म में क्वेश्चन ज्यादा है लेकिन असल में यूनिक क्वेश्चन 25-26 ही हैं। जैसे ही नाडोज पर सब साइन अप हो जाएंगे तो मैं सब पे वीडियो बनाकर या टेक्स्ट फॉर्म में सबके रिप्लाई कर दूंगा। शेड्यूल भी जब सब नाडोज पे साइन अप हो जाएंगे तो शेड्यूल की भी वीडियो बनाकर मैं नाडोज पे डाल दूंगा। शाम के 8 बजे है और शाम को 8 बजे हम पढ़ने के लिए तैयार है। ये दिन भर का कम्युनिकेशन था। ठीक है, अब इससे क्या क्या निकल कर आता है, इससे क्या क्या निकल कर आता है, मैं बीच में एक बार के लिए चैट अनेबल कर रहा हूँ ताकि तुम ये मुझे बता सको कि तुम मुझे सुन पा रहे हो और देख पा रहे हो कि नहीं। ठीक है, तो यू कैन in my chat send yes to me if you can hear me well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, amazing, great. So I am disabling the chat again. ठीक है, thank you, मुझे मालूम पड़ गया कि आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हो, you can hear me. All right, so sometimes I'll be speaking in English and sometimes I'll be speaking in Hindi, so we would alternate between the two languages. All right, okay then, again re-emphasizing that you need to have your pen and paper, and do not worry about chat. I would open it, till then keep on writing it in the pen and paper form, your doubts or queries. Whenever I would open the chat, then you can send me that. All right, so first thing is said, this session is being recorded. The recording of this session would be mailed to you tomorrow morning, all along with the notes. Tomorrow morning I'll be sending you two things: recording of the session and what, notes of the session. These two things. Where would these be sent? On fjp1@pepcoding.com. All right, so you need not worry, if you miss something you would be able to find this video again, so do not worry about that at all. All right, next thing is this, that not all of you might be added to the mailing list. Some of you are added to the mailing list, approximately everyone. There are 930 people in the mailing list. Approximately everyone is added. There are only 800 people here, but I do not know why there are 930 in the mailing list. Because some of the people have shifted their batches, maybe. That is why. So I think almost everyone is in the mailing list. But if you are not, do not worry. At the end of the session, I will give you a Google form. By that Google form, I will collect this information whether you are added to the mailing list or not. If you would not be added, only then fill the form. I would get your email ID and add you to the mailing list. and only then I will send the new mail, which will have the recording as well as the notes of the class. All right. So this thing is about mailing list. Now, to some of you, my team was able to connect during the day and help you sign up on Nados. So for some people, Nados sign up is done. You're already signed up to Nados. For some of you, approximately 500. I have that data. 643 people are signed up and 287 people are not signed up. For those who have been signed up, we would wait for the rest of them. For these 287 people, you would be called tomorrow and we would help you sign up. All right. So if you have a doubt right now, so I will not be able to check the questions because there are too many of them. Okay, so I would open the chat now. If you are already signed up on Nados, do not write anything. If you are not signed up on Nados and you have anything specific to say, after what I have said, if you have anything specific to say, then say it. All right. Our team would be calling you tomorrow, those 287 people of you who are not signed up on Nados now. And if our team called you and we failed to help you sign in today, we will be calling you tomorrow and we'll help you sign up. By tomorrow evening, everybody would be signed up. So I'm opening the chat now. If you are not signed up and you want to say something, say it. The chat is on. The voice is very feeble. All right. I would change the mic then. And the voice would increase. Can you hear me better now? I think you should be hearing me better now because all right. No, there is no fixed time for the call. Again, I am disabling. Cannot you hear me? Cannot you hear me? I think you should be able to hear me. Okay. Test. I hope you can hear me well. All right. I hope everyone can hear me. Okay. I'm disabling the chat so that I can read it. Just wait for a minute. Let me read this chat, whatever you have said. All right. You write a lot very quickly. Okay. Okay. Ashmeet Singh is saying कि सबको टेलीग्राम ग्रुप में नाडोस रिलेटेड बताएं लिंक वगैरह का. No, we would not do Telegram. Instead, we would use the mailing list. Mailing list is more personal. By Telegram, I cannot check who is actually paid customer or who is not. That is why we would not resort to Telegram. Anybody can enter the Telegram group. Mike, I have the new mic now. Nados पे login करने के लिए नंबर डालने के बाद सबमिट ही नहीं हुआ. I have tried. Vivek, do not worry. For whatever reason, if you are not signed up, do not worry. Nishant, let me decide, yaar. Let me decide. Let me decide what is necessary. I will teach, and I'll teach quite a lot during this year. Let me decide when to teach. Okay. Anuranjan, if you are coding in C++, do not worry. I'll teach you Java from the scratch. Regardless of the fact, if you want to code in C++, I am fine with that. Pranav Chaturvedi, just for a couple of days because the OTPs are limited and I do not want to waste them. So I'm not sending the OTPs to your phone. I'm redirecting them to us. All right. So we get the OTP, we tell you the OTP on the call and then you do it just for a couple of days till the time the OTP limit is, we have only 3,000 OTPs for the day. As soon as the OTP limit is extended to 10 lakh per day, then of course you can sign up on your own. All right. Do not worry. Actually, Ruchit, what is happening is why are you not getting the OTPs? Because when you sign up, we have redirected the OTPs to us. We are getting those OTPs. but there are only 3,000 OTPs. All right. So in a day, there is only a limit. Okay. So we are calling you, we help you sign up. But as soon as, I mean, in one day, we will have 10 lakh OTPs in a couple of days. All right. Then we'll help, everybody can sign up on their own. Chaitanya, I know FGP1 icon is not showing. That would, we have still to do. One thing is sign up. Another thing is registering you on FGP1. All right. Great. Codes. Aarti Goyal, good question. Codes. So along with lecture and recording, along with lecture recording and notes, I will also send you codes. So not to worry about that. Okay. Okay. Nothing too specific. So if you are not signed up yet, do not worry. We'll help you sign up tomorrow. Okay. Now moving on. After Nados sign up, there is another thing. In Nados, there will be two feeds. One feed is called the main feed. Main feed is for everyone, for even free customers. And then there is FJP1 feed, which is for your batch specifically. After you are signed up, we'll run a script from here and every one of you would be registered. This step would not be done till all of you are registered, till these 287 people are signed up. Sorry, till you are signed up. After everyone is signed up, then we would register you for FJP1. Then there would be two feeds, main feed, that is for public. Do not bother that too much about that. And the FJP1 feed, that is where we would be working. That is where you would be able to find. Till the time FJP1 feed is not available, till that time I'm sending you lectures and notes and codes on mail. After that, I would start sending on Nados FJP1 feed. All right. So first thing is done. I am telling you all that we have done so far. You need to have a pen and paper right now. Don't chat. Do not do anything else. If you have any doubt, write it on the pen and paper. When I'll allow the chat, and if it is contextual, you send it on the chat. Otherwise, you can fill the Google form that I've already shared. I will reshare it today as well. All the communication would be done via fjp1@pepcooling.com. Recording, notes, and codes would be sent on this. All right. Mailing list. Mailing list. If you are not added to the mailing list, do not worry. At the end of the class, I will float a Google form via which I will gather these two informations, whether you are added to the mailing list and whether you are signed up on the Nados or not. In any which way, if you are not, we would be approaching 287 people tomorrow and help you do a sign up on Nados. In any case, we will soon have 10 lakh OTPs and everybody would be able to do it from their home by themselves. About mailing list, if you're not added, you would be able to tell me via the Google form that I would send at the end of the class. All right. After Nados sign up, by tomorrow, everybody would be signed up. All 287 people would be signed up. In tomorrow's class, we would run the script and everybody would be registered on the FJP1 feed of Nados. That is where from tomorrow onwards, I will send the recording, the lecture notes and the codes. All right. FJP1 feed is where you would find everything. Fair game. Main feed is for the public. Now, I will show you, I told you about those things, career thing and content thing. This is Nados for us. So this is the main feed and this is the FJP1 feed. Main feed is for everyone. All right. FJP1 feed is for us. And if you want to see what I have sent, you can do show only teacher feed. All right. To see what your batchmates are saying, you keep it unchecked. To see what I have sent, you do show only teacher feed. This would become available to you soon enough. All right. Tomorrow we'll sign up and we will register you by your class tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll do the class on Zoom only. Tomorrow also we'll do the class on Zoom only. All the classes we'll do on Zoom only. But the recordings and lecture notes and everything would be shared on FJP1 feed of Nados. All right. There is one major update coming on career. Tomorrow, around, I think by tomorrow, there would be 16 jobs added here. So for those 16 jobs, the first competition would happen on 6th September. That would soon come here. All right. I'm again telling you, tomorrow in career tab, we would add 16 jobs. 16 jobs. We have 16 companies right now available. This does not count among those 10 guaranteed interviews that we have promised you at the end. In Compete, we would post a competition on 6th September. All those companies would be hiring via the competition on 6th September. If you're already prepared somewhat,
And even if you are not, I suggest you participate in that contest so that I get to know how prepared you are. And in case you are lucky, then you get to get placed in the beginning of the course itself. All right. Content is where we would solve the questions. All right. Community is where we interact with each other on FJP1 feed. Fine. FJP1 community, that is where we interact. Career, where the jobs are. Compete, where the contest on 6th September will be. Apply before 6th September. Content is where we will solve the questions. All right. And chat and everything is where we collaborate with each other. So you can send me a friend request. Some of you have sent me a friend request. I'm accepting everyone's friend request. We would soon start studying right away. All right, but this is necessary. These communication are necessary because around these information only many students keep on asking the questions. So I've spoken about the mailing list. I would send you a form, NADO sign up, NADO's registration for FJP. That would be done tomorrow, FJP1 feed. NADO sign up. We would call you tomorrow. Actually, we can help you sign up on NADO's today itself, in the class itself, but that we would do at the end. We need not call you at the end. I would help you register on NADO's. I'd help you sign up on NADO's today itself. All right, at the end of the class. Now, just two more updates. Doubts, the doubts form, the doubts Google form that I had shared earlier. So you can enter your doubts still there. It still represents only 30 unique questions. Whenever NADO's, everybody is signed up on NADO's and everybody is registered on FJP1 feed, I would create videos for each one of the question there or a textual answer, and I would post it as frequently asked questions there. For schedule, same thing. So these two things are pending for 2 days. Now I think we can start, and there's the first thing is homework. All right, now we can start. First thing is homework. What we have done so far. Yesterday, actually, I would just open the chat for a couple of minutes now. All right. I'm starting with the lecture. If you want to say anything, say it now. Devansh, what you are saying is correct. So we would soon start having, in fact, in Zoom also, I can ensure it that outside people cannot enter. All right. There's no CGPA requirement. Dipanshu Dua, we will have test in the second week. For the first week, because it is taking too many things. What about test series? Test series from second week. All right. Mohammed Beg, do not ask me to make it fast. Let me take my pace here. Do not say it. Aarti, my internet is very strong. The mic is also so good. The voice cannot break. Maybe the internet on your side is not too good. All right. मैं खुश नहीं लगता. I am very happy, man. CLRS कैसे start करें? Himanshu, CLRS is not a good book. Instead, read Head First Java. I can tell you other books. Do not read CLRS. It is very popular and it is respected by a lot of good people, but it's not a good book. All right. Okay, then again disabling the chat. After NADO's is launched, we would ask doubts on Zoom. For doubt support also, please wait 1 week. Please wait 1 week. Community में कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा है. Wait. ओमकार भोसले, let me decide यार. Do not say that. हाँ, मैं कभी कभी हिंदी में बोलूंगा, कभी कभी इंग्लिश में बोलूंगा. हाँ, मुझे भी लग रहा है क्लास में कुछ ऐसे बच्चे हैं जो शायद पेड कस्टमर ही नहीं है. तो we would soon, as soon as everybody is registered on NADO's, so I would solve this problem. How about SCJP? It's a good book, but Head First Java is the book that we must read first. All right, then again, now starting with the real class. First thing, recap what we did yesterday. Second thing, homework. Third, what we would do today. Yesterday we did how to print something in Java. And then we did the concept of variables. There was a homework that I gave you on variables. We would discuss that. And today what we would do, there are 3 more things remaining. One is conditions. There were 5 things in any language that you need to know. Output, input, variables. After variables, conditions and repetitions. These 5 things you need to know if you need to start any language. All right. So we are already aware of giving an output. For output, there were 2 statements: print statement, system.out.print, and system.out.println. All right. So you are aware of output and you are aware of variables. Today we would do the rest of 3 things. We would do conditions. After that, we would do repetitions. After that, we would do input. These three things and these two things we did yesterday. This is the basics of any language. If you want to do C++, you should know that about it. If you want to know Python, you should learn this. If you want to learn Java, you should know this. Any language, this starts with these 5 things. All right. So we would soon start on this. After this, we would do our first question. And I would do another question. 2 questions I would do, and I would give you, after doing these 3, I would do 2 questions with you. And I will give you 3 questions for home. All right. Doubt support would soon start after everyone is signed up on Nados. All right. So I am going to start with the homework. Okay. What was the homework? There was an MCQ that we had to solve. So I go in the content part. In content part, I go in level 1. And in level 1, I go in getting started. And in getting started, I go to this MCQ, variables in Java. So this is the question that we had yesterday. What is the output of the following code? All right. When CPU encounters this in the program, what happens? When this line runs, do not raise your hand. Do not raise your hand if it is not necessary. All right. So when this line runs, when CPU encounters this line, what happens? In the RAM, a location is named A and value 10 is put in it. When this line runs, a location is named B and 20 is put in it. When this line runs, first the right hand side is evaluated and then the answer is assigned in left hand side. A plus B, 10 plus 20, 30 ho gaya. Then 30 is assigned in A. So this becomes 30. I will do it twice and this recording will stay with you. Now this line runs. First the right hand side is evaluated. A minus B, 30 minus 20. So 10 hota hai. Now 10 is assigned to B. See how I am doing it. Now A equal to A minus B. First the right hand side would be evaluated. 30 minus 20, 10, 20, 30 minus 10, 20. And this 20 would be assigned to left hand side, which is A. So this would become 20. I would redo it. Then I would open the chat for doubts. All right. The doubts would be specific to this question only. First line, when it runs, A becomes 20. Second line it runs. A becomes 10, B becomes 20. Now, when this line runs, first the right hand side is evaluated. Then the answer is calculated. And the calculated answer is assigned to the left hand side. First, right hand side is evaluated and the answer is assigned to left hand side. So first this thing is evaluated. A plus B. 10 plus 20 is 30. Now this 30 is assigned to left hand side. So this is 30. When this line runs, first right hand side, A minus B. 30 minus 20 is 10. Now this 10 is assigned to left hand side, which is B. A equal to A minus B. First right hand side, A minus B. 30 minus 20 is 30 minus 10 is 20. Now this 20 is assigned to what? Left hand side, which is A. So 10, 20. All right. Now I would open the chat. If you have any specific doubt, let me know that. Specific doubt to this only. Opening the chat. Opening the chat. If you have doubt related to this, please post. Do not write no doubt. Do not write no doubt or understood. If you have doubt, only then mention it. Yes. Actually, the effect is, all right. No, the query is not to reverse the number. The query was not to reverse the number. The variables are stored in stack. Dipanshu, the variables are stored in stack, but I would not want to mention stack as of now. Book ki PDF share karo, please. Please piracy mujhse na karao. And Sandeep Kumar, I request you to stay relevant to what I have said. मैं तो ये पढ़ा रहा हूँ ना. Ask your doubt related to the question. Why do you ask me for the book ki PDF? Abhas, the question was not to reverse the number. The question was, what would these lines do? It is coincidental that it reverses the number. Mohammad Parvez, I would slow it down if you request. What is the use of plus symbol in print command? Chaitanya, we would discuss it. We would discuss it, not right now. How does inverted commas affect them? Again, we would discuss it. Pratik Bansal, value swap. The purpose was not value swap. The purpose was not swapping the values, but actually value swaps happened. All right. Saurabh Thakur, yes, swapping is happening, but that was unintentional. Okay, moving forward. So this question is discussed. If you have any doubt about questions like these, if you incidentally have any doubt about questions like these, that is where NADOS will become so relevant. After the class, this recording would be there. You can post a question about what are you discussing at 8:29. Then I would post a video again. All right. Now moving on to the homework is done. Now moving on to input conditions and repetitions. First thing we would think is learn is conditions. How to do something conditional. All right. For which there are two statements. There are other as well. There are three actually, but we would only mention two. One is if and one is else. So how is it written? After if, let us say this is your line 1, this is your line 2. Then a if statement comes. And after if, in brackets, you write something. Then a curly braces start and the curly braces ends. Then a else block. Curly braces start, curly braces end. And then more lines. Line 1, line 2. Here a condition C. Line 3, line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, line 8. So now how the program runs? This line runs, this line runs. Now what the if clause does is it evaluates this condition. If this condition is true, then line 3 and line 4 works. If this condition is false, then the CPU skips the if block and starts running the else block. All right, I would again say it. Initially, CPU runs line 1, then line 2. When CPU encounters the if condition, it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then CPU enters the if part, if block, and runs line 3 and line 4, after which it runs line 7 and line 8. But if the CPU finds that the condition inside the if clause is false, then it skips the if block, enters the else block, runs line 5, runs line 6, move on to line 7 and line 8. So either it will run line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, line 7, line 8. This it would do if the condition is true. If the condition is false, then it would initially do line 1, line 2. The condition is false, so it would skip the if block, go in the else block, run line 5 and line 6, and then move on to line 7 and line 8. So what you have to understand is CPU would always run line 1 and line 2, always run line 7 and line 8. But if whether it would run line 3, line 4 or line 5, line 6 depends upon what the condition in if block is. All right. So you should have a pen and paper right now, and you should be writing down your doubts or queries or notes if you want. Now what I would be doing is I would be submitting a question. I would be submitting a question on the content to make sure that you understand it. Right now, you should not try to submit that question. You will be submitting that same question after the class, not with me, because you would miss something. So this grading system question has been made to help you understand what? To help you understand this thing only. So ignore the initial part. That is for taking the input. We are going to learn how to take the input soon. So what the initial two lines are doing is, okay, the font is too small. I'll increase the font size. So what the initial two line do is they take input. So do not worry. We have to code after this. Now, what does the question say? Let me increase the font size a little. We are given marks of a student. If the marks are above 90, print excellent. If the marks are above 80 and less than equal to 90, print good. Above 70 and less than equal to 80, print fair. Above 60 and less than equal to 70, print meets expectations. For marks less than equal to 60, print below par. All right. Okay. Let's see how we can do it. So marks are available in this variable. The input has already been taken. I will teach you how to take input after this question. Right now, we should not be focusing on that. Instead, we should be focusing on how to do this question. All right. So if marks are, what was they saying? What were they saying? Marks are above 90. If marks great, here it is. If marks above 90. So I write if marks greater than 90. Greater than 90. Then, and you'll have to close the condition. All right. Remember doing that. You will have to close it. If the brace suits one, there is round bracket, then the condition, then the round bracket is closed. Then the curly braces, and then the curly braces has to be closed. If marks greater than 90, what are we supposed to print? System.out array. What is happening, man? System.out dot print line. Print what? Excellent. So you use the same case that has been used there. Excellent. Else. Array yaar. Bhavish, get me one keyboard. Get me one keyboard, please. My keyboard is misbehaving a little, so I'm getting myself a new keyboard. Else. In the else block, but in the else block, I cannot do one thing because in the else block also there is a condition. So what I would do is in the else again, I would do an if. If marks are greater than 80, but there is one more thing, and less than equal to 90. So I would specify that. And that is how you say and. Both things must be true. When you say or हिंदी में या होता है, और हिंदी में या होता है, and हिंदी में और होता है. ठीक है ना? ये this is one thing which happens a lot wrong with people. And is equal to ये वाला और in हिंदी, or of English is equal to या. So we would not be resorting to Hindi ever. We would only be speaking English. And or. At least for and or, we would be speaking English. So first thing was marks greater than 90, print excellent. So I did that. Else, if marks are not greater than 90, then what to do? Then you check if marks are greater than 80 and marks are less than equal to 90. So I can write marks are less than equal to 90. Do I have a keyboard?
Yes, sir.
For initial few days, the pace will be slow, but then we would increase the pace subsequently. My keyboard was misbehaving a little, so I've got a new keyboard for myself. I hope this one behaves well. All right. What were we doing? Yeah. So if marks are greater than 80 and marks are less than 90, less than equal to 90, then we are supposed to print not excellent, but good. All right. So we will not print excellent, but good. Now, even if this condition also not fails, so there would be else block for this as well, where we are checking if marks are above 70 and less than equal to 80. So we do an if for that. If marks are greater than, please do not raise your hand as of now. There are other ways of doing it as well, but wait for that. I would actually do this question in 3 ways. All right. So because there is also an else if condition, which makes it this more cleaner. Marks are greater than 70 and marks are less than equal to 80. So this if block. And if this condition also fails, I have another else block. That would be for greater than 60 but less than equal to 70. If marks are, there are many ways to do the same thing. Greater than 60 and marks are less than equal to 70. If this condition also fails, then what? Which is marks are less than 60. So again, let me read the structure for you. The first condition said if marks are above 90. So this is here. If marks are above 90, the code would go here. If the marks are not greater than 90, we would reach the else block. There I again test something. What I am testing there? If the marks are above 80 but less than equal to 90, actually it is not necessary to check less than equal to 90 here. Why is it not necessary? Because if we are reaching the else block, it certainly means that marks are not greater than 90, which means marks are less than equal to 90. I would say it again. If marks are greater than 90, so this condition checks that, and we enter the if block if marks are greater than 90. If the marks are not greater than 90, that means marks are less than equal to 90. In that case, we reach the else block. Here I check the other condition if marks are greater than 80. So if marks are greater than 80 in else block, it certainly means that marks are greater than 80 and they are less than equal to 90. All right. In which case we print good. In this else block, if we are coming in this else block, it means two things. It means two things. One thing, that marks are not greater than 90, which is that marks are less than equal to 90. Only with that is why we reach the else block. And we have reached this else block, which means this if block has failed. Also, this if block has failed. Marks are not greater than 90. That is why we are here. Marks are not greater than 80 also. That is why we are here. So we being here means marks are less than equal to 80. Now we check the other thing. What do we check? That are the marks greater than 70? If we reach this else block, which means we have failed three if blocks. First if block failed, marks are not greater than 90. Then this failed, marks are not greater than 80. Then this failed, marks are not greater than 70. That is why we are here in this last else block, which only means one thing. If marks are not greater than 90 and marks are not greater than 80 and marks are not greater than 70, this means marks are less than equal to 70. That is why we are here. And here we test the last thing. If marks are greater than 60, and even if that also fails. So what you have to understand is, if the control comes in this if block, what does that mean? That means marks are greater than 90. So we print excellent. What does it mean when we are here at line number 16, which means marks greater than 90 failed. Then the marks are less than equal to 90. And marks greater than 80 succeeded. So marks greater than 80 is true and marks greater than 90 is false. That is why we are in this if block. That is, marks are greater than 80 but less than equal to 90. So we print good. Now a critical line, I would again say it. I would say it again. Please listen to it carefully. If I am at line number 19, what does that mean? If I am at line number 19, it means line number 12 failed, line number 15 failed, and line number 18 succeeded. If I am at line number 19 now, so it means 12 failed, 15 failed, 18 succeeded. So greater than 90, no. Greater than 80, no. Greater than 70, yes. So it's not greater than 90, so it is less than equal to 90. It's not greater than 80, so it is less than equal to 80. So if I say marks greater than 70, it also means I am here, then it also means greater than 70, and certainly it is less than equal to 80. Because if it was greater than 80, then I would have entered line number 16. So I print fair. Fair. All right. Now I would say an obvious thing again. If my code reaches line number 22, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means 12 failed, 15 failed, 18 failed, 21 succeeded. 12 failed, 15 failed, 18 failed, 21 succeeded. So 12 failed means what? Not greater than 90. 15 failed means what? Not greater than 80. 18 failed, line number 18 failed, not greater than 70. Line number 21 passed, greater than 60. So not greater than 70, which means less than equal to 70. And line number 21 passed, greater than 60. So coming on 22 means the marks are more than 60, but less than equal to 70. So I print meets expectations. Meets expectations. Actually, I should have taught you an easier question, but does not matter. For marks less than equal to 60. So if marks greater than 60, this condition, line number 21 also fails. It means marks are less than equal to, else block means marks are less than equal to 60. In that case, we would print what? We would print below par. Below par. All right. So it was too hard a question to do right away. But sometimes we do hard questions. Does not matter. Initially, for initial people, it is a little hard question. All right. So I'll do a submit. and the test case passes. The test case is passed. Marks 10 out of 10, correct answer. All right. You have the recording, you'll be able to hear the discussion again. But let me teach you something easier than this question. It's too hard a question for in first thing. It was too hard a question. So let me teach you something easier. I'm undoing this. The video would be there, so it does not matter. All right. I will be teaching you something simpler. Let us just try to find if the marks are even or odd. Let us just do that much. If the marks are even, print even marks. If the marks are odd, print odd marks. Let us do a simpler thing. Just one if, one else. In this question, there were many if else. For now, I'm changing the question. I'm saying, let us say if we were given the question that tell us whether this guy has scored even marks or odd marks. So this is an easier question. So let us solve that. So how to check whether the marks are even or odd? What is even? If any number is divisible by 2, it is even. Like 4, 6, 8, 10, 16. These are even numbers. What are odd numbers? Which are not divisible by 2. Like 3, like 7, like 15, like 81. These are odd numbers. So let us say the question is, tell me whether the marks are odd or even. All right. So I'm solving an easier question. For that, there is this operator. One operator is plus for adding numbers, minus is for subtracting numbers, multiply is for multiplying numbers. For dividing numbers, there is slash. For remainder, there is modulus. So if I would ask you 14 modulus 3, so what this would give you is remainder when 14 is divided by 3. The answer is 2. So think of what is 81 modulus 7. So 7, in fact, divide 81 by 7, whatever the remainder would be. 7 ones are 7, 11, 7 ones are 7, 4. 4 is the remainder. So 81 modulus 7 is 4. So what divide gives is the quotient. So this we would have to learn properly. I would tell you the difference between divide and modulus. So there are 4 basic operators. One operator is plus, it adds the number. All right. Minus subtracts the number. Multiply multiplies the number. Divide. So let us say I have 16 divided by 3. This gives us the quotient 5. Modulus gives us the remainder. 16 modulus 3 is 1. So if I divide 16 by 3, 5 is the quotient and 1 is the remainder. So divide gives us the quotient, modulus gives us the remainder. All right. So to figure out whether a number is odd or even, remainder is very important. So for even numbers, when divided by 2, the remainder is 0. For odd numbers, when divided by 2, the remainder is 1. Let us check for 21. When we divide 21, remainder is 1. So 21 is odd. 18 is an even number. When divided by 2, we get what? We get 0 remainder. So 18 is even. How do we decide whether the number is even or not? If the remainder is 0, it is even. If the remainder is 1, it is odd. So let us do that. All right. So what I am checking is if marks modulus 2 double equal to 0, if marks are even. Else, so to check whether two things are equal or not, you use double equal to. Marks modulus 2 gives me the remainder when marks is divided by 2. So if the remainder is equal to 0, we will say it is even. System dot out dot print line even. Otherwise, we would say odd. All right. Now we need to run it. So we need to provide the input. So we provide the input. Let us say I provide the input 57. For 57, I run it. 57 is, let us see the output. 57 is odd, which is true. Now I provide 58 and run it again. 58 is even. So this is fine. All right. So our code is able to check whether it is even or odd. So this was the most simplest way of checking something. All right. So this code right here checks whether the code is odd or even. So this is, I think, pretty simple. Now we have just discovered what? We have just discovered conditions. We are just clear with conditions, but a simple kind of conditions when there is just one if and just one else. So for that, we have done a question of odd even. If marks modulus 2, and this is coming on my face, I'll remove it a little. Marks modulus 2 is double equal to 0. Here we print even. Else, if the remainder is not 0, then it is certainly 1. When you divide by 2, either the remainder is 0 or 1, then we print odd. All right. Now let us do something more complex, slightly more complex. I would slowly increase the complexity. Let us say when you divide by 3, there are some numbers which are called 3k numbers. There are some numbers which are called 3k plus 1 numbers. There are some numbers which are called 3k plus 2 numbers. There is nothing called a 3k plus 3 number. 3k plus 3 means it is already a multiple of 3. So like 18 is a 3k number, which means it is a multiple of 18. 19 is a 3k plus 1 number. When divided by 3, it gives me a remainder of 1. 20 is a 3k plus 2 number, because when divided by 3, it gives me a multiple of remainder of 2. What do you think 7 is? 7 is also a 3k plus 1 number. What is 12? A 3k number, because it is divided by 3. What is 14? 3 4s are 12, and we get 2 as remainder. So 14 is a 3k plus 2 number. All right. So 18 is equal to 3 into 6. It's a 3k number. 12 equal to 3 into 4. It's a 3k number. 19 is equal to 3 into 6 plus 1. So it is a 3k plus 1 number. 7 is equal to 3 into 2, 6 plus 1. So it is a 3k plus 1 number. 20 is 3 into 6, 18 plus 2. So it is a 3k plus 2 number. 14 is 3 into 4 plus 2. So it is a 3k plus 2 number. So now let us print 3k, 3k plus 1 or 3k plus 2, depending on how the number is. All right. So what we would do, we would now divide by 3 to figure out what kind of number it is. If on dividing by 3, we get a number 0. Now the question is again changed. We do not have to tell odd or even. We have to tell whether this number is 3k, 3k plus 1 or 3k plus 2. All right. So if it gives me, forget about the else for now. Forget about the else. Let us just have one thing. Only the if block. All right. If marks is divided by 3 and remainder is 0, then it is certainly 3k. That is, it got divided by 3. Else, if we are here, it only means that it is not 3k. It can be 3k plus 1, it can be 3k plus 2. But what we know is it is certainly not 3k, because dividing by 3 did not give remainder as 0. So now we again divide. And we see marks modulus 3 is equal to 1 and another else block. See, now you have to carefully understand. If we are in line number 13, it means line number on 12 passed. Then it is 3k. If we are on line number 16, what does it mean? Very critical line. If I am on line number 16, what does it mean? Line number 12 passed. Line number 15 failed. 12 passed, 15. Oh, sorry. If we are line number 16, 12 and 15 both passed. Sorry, yaar. 12 failed, 15 passed. Let me say it again. If we are on line number 13, 12th line passed. So I would write it. Just give me one moment. If we are here, then 12 passed. But if we are on line number 16, 12 failed. That is why we entered the else block of 12. And 15 passed. 12 failed, 15 passed. That is why we are here. What does that mean? 12 failed. That is marks divided by 3, remainder is not 0. 15 passed. Remainder is not 0, but remainder is equal to 1. Which means this is a 3k plus 1 number. So if the remainder is not 0, but the remainder is 1, what does that mean? That is a 3k plus 1 number. All right. So I would write here 3k plus 1. Now another important moment in the question. Important moment is this. If we are at line number 18, if we are here, what does that mean? We can reach this block only if the condition at 12 fails. If it fails only, 12 failed. That is why we reached the else part. 15 also failed. That is why we reached the else block of 15. All right, 12 and 15 both failed. 12 failed, that is why we reached the else block. 15 fails, that is why we reached this else block. All right, if both 12 and 15 failed, what does that mean? 12 failed, remainder is not 0. 15 failed, remainder is not 1. So when divided by 3, there are only 3 remainders, either 0 or 1 or 2. The remainder is not 0, remainder is not 1, remainder is not 0, remainder is not 1. Then what is remainder? It is 2. We need not check it now. It can only be 2. That is what you have to understand. That if it is not 0, if it is not 1, then it can only be 2. When you divide by 3, there are only 3 remainders. Either the remainder would be 0, or the remainder would be 1, or the remainder would be 2. If it is not 0, if it is not 1, then it can only be 2. All right. All right. I hope you understand it. I would redo it for you. I would redo it for you. If line number 12, if we are on line number 13, what does that mean? Which means only one thing. 12 must have passed. That is why we are on line number 13. But if we are on line 16, what does that mean? It only means one thing, that 12 must have failed. That is why we reached the else block. And 15 must have passed. 12 failed, 15 passed. That is why we entered the other if block. First if block we did not enter because 12 failed. Second if block we entered, then 15 passed. That means only one thing. If we are at 18, what does that mean? That means 12 failed. 12 failed, that is why we reached the else block of 14. 15 failed, that is why we have reached the else block of 17. 12 and 15 both failed. So if 12 passed, it means the remainder is 0 when divided by 3. That is 3k. If 12 failed and 15 passed, what does that mean? 12 failed, remainder is not 0. 15 passed, remainder is 1. Then it is 3k plus 1. If both 12 and 15 failed, what does that mean? 12 failed, remainder is not 0. 15 failed, remainder is not 1. Then what could it be? It could only be 2. We need not check it. We need not check it. If it is not 0, if it is not 1, then it can only be 2. We need not check it. We know it. We know it. Because it could only be one out of 3 things. Either it could be 0 or 1 or 2. So the other 2 conditions are failed. So that is why we say now it could only be 2. All right, this recording would lie with you. You can re-watch it if you would want to. And it rhymes. Okay, so now I would test it for you once. So let us give the input of 8. 8 is a 3k plus 2 number. 8 is a 3k plus 2 number. The remainder when 8 divided by 3 gives you 2. So I would run it. So you can see that it would print 3k plus 2. We go to output, we see for 8, 3k plus 1. Oh, I did a stupid thing. In this statement, I also print 3k plus 2. So I have 3k plus 1 I had printed. So I've changed it to 3k plus 2. I'm again running it. So for 8, the output is 3k plus 2. For 7 is a 3k plus 1 number. So you would run it and see whether the program is correct or not. We go to output, it prints 3k plus 1. Now for 6 is a 3k number. Everybody knows when 6 divided by 3, it gives remainder of 0. So it's a 3k number. So I run it and confirm it. All right, 3k. So now what I would do is, I would take this code on the screen and would analyze it once more. I know I sometimes discuss things too much. I'm a bore that way. I am an old school, old man, and I do it all the time. Please excuse me. Please excuse me for it. All right. So what happens? Let us dry run it for 6. Let us dry run it for 6. CPU ran this line. 6 modulus 3, remainder come out to be 0. Then CPU went to this line and printed 3k. And then it did not go to else block. The program ended. That is what happened for 6. What would happen for 7? Program started at this place. 7 modulus 3. Does 7 give a remainder of 0? No. So this condition came out to be false. So the program went to else block, and tested this line, marks %3. When 7 divided by 3 actually gives a remainder of 1. So program went to this line and printed 3k plus 1. So if the program was on this line, it would not go to else block, and the program ended after that. Now for 8, I would dry run it for 8. See how it would run. First, this line is run. Is the remainder 0? No. Then it went to else block. This line is run. Then this line is run. Is the remainder 1 for 8? No. So it did not go to this line. Instead, it went to else block and printed 3k plus 2. And the program ended. So for 3k plus 2, first this line ran. Condition is false. Then it came to else block. This line ran. Condition is false. Then it went to this line ran. Then this line ran. 3k plus 2 got printed. All right. For 7, this line got run, but the condition is false. So we went to else block. This line ran. The condition is true. So it went inside and printed 3k plus 1. And then it would not go to else block. For 6, I repeat so many times, so sometimes your doubt that would arise would clear out subsequently. For 6, we went to this line and then to this line. Because the condition is true, we implemented that. All right. So I hope you understand that. So we checked out odd even, we checked out 3 multiple. Now there is another way of writing this program. Meanwhile, I want to take a break at this point and I want to help you subscribe on Nados. So I am stopping the flow for one moment. What we have done so far, we know the variables. We did print yesterday, output yesterday, then variables, homework we did do. Then we have discussed conditions. For conditions, initially we did that even odd question, then 3k question. Now we are stopping for a minute. We would restart from conditions. We still have to do conditions, loops and input. Then our first question. So the class would continue till 10. Okay. All right. We'll after input, we will do our first question. That is when the class would end. So now, right now, I'm going to get Bhavesh here and he will help you sign up. We plan to call you tomorrow if you fail now. So I am right now speaking about those 287 people who are not signed up. Actually, the OTP can be received on your email. So what we would do is we would try doing the sign up and the OTP will come on your email. All right. So let me help you right now. Let us go to, I am going to help everybody sign up on Nados. So those 287 people who are not yet subscribed, let us all subscribe to Nados. All right. So first step, openpepcoding.com. This is the first step, openpepcoding.com. I will wait here. Pepcoding.com. This is the first step. I always do things slowly. And I also advise you to do things slowly. Openpepcoding.com. After this thing, after signing up, we would do rest of the things. Openpepcoding.com. After that, click on Nados. So you would come across this page. Nados. Pepcoding.com, click on Nados. Then click on login on nados.pepcoding.com.
So please get confirmed from the students that there is a lock sign above the URL HTTPS.
All right. Now, what you have to do? Put in your phone number here. 99. I am putting my phone number 258467 and I do a submit. Now the OTP would have been received on my email. All right. So I would have received this OTP on my email. So if I would have received an OTP, I would check now. I do not have received on pepcoding.com. So I have received an OTP. No, I don't see an OTP. I don't have an OTP. Yes, the OTP would come from Bhavesh Bansal. Bhavesh is the person who has written this software. So my OTP is 668407. All right. For you, the screen might be different. So wait. 407. So if I do a submit, I would be logged in. I am logged in. All right. So now I am speaking about a user who is not already registered. This is for those users who are already registered. That is how, if you log out, you would be signing in. Provide me a number who is not signed in. Get a guy. So for you, when you would provide the phone number, what would happen? A screen would come where you have to provide your phone number, your name, your email, and password. Your phone number would be there already. For me, what has happened, the same thing would not happen for you. When you would provide your phone number, and you would do a submit, a page would open, which would ask you for a few things: your name, your email, the phone number would be there automatically. And another thing that would ask for is password. For password, there are simple rules. It should have one capital letter, one small letter, one special character, one capital, one small, one special, and one number. And the length should be 8. Length should be greater than or equal to 8. So provide the password and then click submit. The OTP would be received on your email. So try doing it now. You run the script and check how many people are signed up. So I'm waiting for, right now I would wait for 10 minutes to help you sign up. All right. Start with pepcoding.com. Click on Nardos. Click on login. Provide your phone number. Do submit. Provide your name, email if it is asking. If it is not asking, then it is fine. Name, email, and password. One capital letter, one small letter, one special character, one number greater than 8. The OTP would be received on your email. So I think 200 people would be able to subscribe. Only a few would not be able to. To them, we would manually call tomorrow and we would help you to sign up. All right. So we are taking 10 minutes right now. I'm helping you sign up. Please sign up as is possible.
Sir, I want cake morning bhi de dijiye.
So I'm handing it over to Bhavesh. Bhavesh would be opening the chat and you would be able to raise hands also. I'm opening this to Bhavesh and Bhavesh would be helping you sign up. Bhavesh, help people. The chat is disabled as of now. You can enable the chat. You can speak to people whatsoever way you want. You do it. All right. Sit here and you take these. For 10 minutes. Keep on repeating that I am here for 10 minutes. I'm helping you signing up Nardos. After which I would restart the class, finish conditions, loops, and input and first question.
Okay.
Help people.
ठीक है guys, 1 मिनट में बता देता हूँ. अच्छा, पहले तो एक चीज बता देता हूँ यार, जो आपका फोन नंबर है, जो भी रजिस्टर्ड है, उसके कोरस्पॉन्डिंग ईमेल आईडी डाल रहे हो. फोन नंबर मैं मान रहा हूँ कि अभी वैलिडेट नहीं हो रहा, बट इन फ्यूचर ऐसा मत करना कि आप सोचो कि एक से ज्यादा साइन अप हो पाएंगे एफजेपी में. ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा पॉसिबल. तो अपना ही डालना. जो भी फोन नंबर ईमेल डाल रहे हो, किसी और का मत डालना, अपना ही डालना. फोन नंबर और ईमेल दोनों ही. फोन नंबर दोबारा अपडेट नहीं कर पाओगे आप. ठीक है. ठीक है जी. और एक बार मैं आपको करके भी दिखा देता हूँ. मेरे पास एक नंबर है, उससे मैं आपको साइन अप करके दिखा देता हूँ. हाँ जी. तो यहाँ पर नंबर डालना है 8287 832307. मैंने सबमिट पे क्लिक किया और ये नंबर एग्जिस्ट, मतलब वो नहीं था, यूजर नहीं था, तो साइन अप हो गया. तो मैं इन्हें रजिस्टर कर देता हूँ.
अभी क्लास ऑन. Show them the password so that they know what all is required in the password.
Okay. So I am writing this as my password. But let me write like this. तो पासवर्ड में क्या होना चाहिए? एटलीस्ट 8 डिजिट का हो, एक कैपिटल लेटर, एक स्मॉल लेटर, एक स्पेशल केस और नंबर. ये होना कंपलसरी है. फिर सबमिट को हिट करेगा. सबमिट को हिट करते ओटीपी मांगेगा. मेरा ओटीपी मुझे रिसीव हो चुका होगा. मैं चेक कर लेता हूँ. हाँ जी, मुझे रिसीव हो गया है 404541. और मैं सबमिट करूंगा और मैं रजिस्टर हो जाऊंगा सक्सेसफुली. ठीक है जी, मैं रजिस्टर हो गया हूँ सक्सेसफुली. यहाँ पर मेरा सब कुछ दिख रहा है. अच्छा एक चीज और, जो आज रजिस्टर्ड हो चुके थे स्टूडेंट्स उनको मैंने एफजेपी में ऐड कर दिया है। जो हो चुके थे, अभी जो नए हुए उनको नहीं करा, जो हो चुके थे उनकी फीड में एफजेपी आ रहा होगा ऊपर, एक बार चेक कर लेना। किसी में नहीं आ रहा हो तो देखते हैं, फिर मैं गूगल फॉर्म वगैरह कुछ भरवाता हूँ, फिर चेक करते हैं, ठीक है। 15 participants has raised hands, ओके ठीक है जी। 17-20 करो जी, रेज हैंड करो जिनको दिक्कत आ रही है। इतने लोगों को दिक्कत आ रही है इसमें करने में?
ओटीपी नहीं आए?
नहीं नहीं आ रहे हैं, मैंने अभी अभी किया है।
इन बच्चों को आ रहे हैं कि नहीं आ रहे?
वही चेक करता हूँ क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। पासवर्ड मस्ट कंटेन ए स्पेशल लेटर, कैपिटल लेटर, स्मॉल लेटर, नंबर। ये आ रहा है सर, बट आई हैव ऑलरेडी एंटर्ड एवरीथिंग। आभास ऐसा नहीं हो सकता यार, आपने 8 डिजिट, कम से कम 8 डिजिट का होना चाहिए, चेक किया? पासवर्ड मस्ट बी एटलीस्ट 8 डिजिट। आभास, पासवर्ड मस्ट बी एटलीस्ट 8 डिजिट। पासवर्ड मस्ट बी एटलीस्ट 8 डिजिट, स्पेशल कैरेक्टर, कैपिटल लेटर, स्मॉल लेटर एंड नंबर। अभी भी अगर किसी को प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, सिर्फ वो हाथ हैंड रेज करे जिनका लॉगिन नहीं हो पाया, जिनका यहाँ तक नहीं पहुंच पाया जहां पर मैं अभी अभी पहुंच चुका हूँ, सिर्फ वो रेज हैंड करें, सब मत करें जो नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं किसी रीजन से। ठीक है जी, मैं एक एक करके पूछता हूँ। वरुण क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है भाई, आप बोल सकते हो।
हाँ, तो डिटेल्स लगाने के बाद सबमिट बटन दबाया तो ओटीपी नहीं आ रहा है, वो सबमिट बटन पे वो बफर हो रहा है, घूम रहा है वो ऐसे।
एक सेकंड रुकिए, अभी चेक करते हैं। हाँ जी, अपना नंबर बोलिए।
98803
9
803 16624।
वरुण आर 98803, ठीक है जी, बिल्कुल मिल गया मेरे को। 98803 16624, राइट।
हाँ,
एक सेकंड दो बस मुझे, एक सेकंड रुकना। हाँ जी वरुण, आप करके देखिए, आप सीधे साइन इन हो जाएंगे, करके देखिए। आप रिफ्रेश करो, नंबर डालो और लॉगिन करो, ओटीपी स्क्रीन पर आऊंगा, आप सीधा चेक करिए। आपकी प्रॉब्लम को मैंने रिजोल्व कर दिया है, चेक करो हुई है कि नहीं हुई। वरुण इन्फॉर्म भी करना है मुझे, हो गई है तो रिजोल्व। ओटीपी की अगर स्क्रीन आ गई है तो इसका मतलब रिजोल्व हो गई है।
हाँ, हाँ भैया बताता हूँ
हो
अभी।
गई है, अच्छा बता रहे हो अभी, ओके जी ठीक है। इतने में मनप्रीत से पूछता हूँ। मनप्रीत बताइए भाई, कोई क्या प्रॉब्लम है? हाँ जी बताइए, क्या प्रॉब्लम चल रही है?
हेलो।
हाँ जी मनप्रीत, सुन पा रहे हो मुझे? हेलो मनप्रीत, मनप्रीत के इंटरनेट में इश्यू लग रहा है मुझे। ठीक है। वरुण आपका हो गया? ठीक है, लक्ष्य से पूछ रहे थे। लक्ष्य प्रॉब्लम?
It has been resolved. I have signed in.
You have signed in, it is resolved, then lower your hand na.
Okay.
If the problem has been resolved, please lower your hand. Varun, is the problem resolved?
Site is it is loading, sir. I got the OTP, but it is loading. 1 second.
It is loading once again. OTP, after entering the OTP, it is loading.
Yeah, it is resolved now. Thank you.
It is resolved. Okay. Thank you. Okay. मनीष कुमार जी बताइए, व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम?
जी हेलो हेलो
हाँ
सर,
जी,
एम आई ऑडिबल?
हाँ जी बताइए।
सर ओटीपी रिसीव नहीं हुआ। मैंने नाम और
आप
ईमेल आईडी डाल दिया, उसमें
प्रमोश
पासवर्ड भी सेट कर दिया, उसके बाद ओटीपी रिसीव
ओटीपी
नहीं हुआ।
ईमेल पर आएगा, हो सकता है
नहीं आया
प्रमोशंस में आ
सर।
गया हो, प्रमोशंस में चेक करो, स्पैम में चेक करो,
प्रमोशन
प्रमोशंस में चेक करो और स्पैम में चेक करो, उनमें से किसी एक में होगा। अगर किसी को ऐसा लग रहा है कि मुझे ओटीपी नहीं दिख रहा ईमेल में, प्रमोशंस और स्पैम बॉक्स चेक करो, उसमें पक्का मिलेगा।
आई थिंक आई हैव रिसीव्ड ओटीपी। ओके
ओके जी, कोई बात नहीं मनीष जी। आपको लगता है आप अभी कौन सी स्क्रीन पर हो?
जी, अभी जस्ट मुझे ओटीपी रिसीव हुआ है, नाडोज वेरिफिकेशन ओटीपी।
बिल्कुल जी,
मैं
बस उसी से वही ओटीपी डालना है आपको, डाल दो।
जी सर, लॉगिन हो गया, थैंक
हो
यू।
गया जी, ओके जी,
जी
थैंक यू। ठीक है, अभी भी देख लो, अभी भी यार लोअर हैंड कर सकते हो अगर प्रॉब्लम रिजोल्व हो गई। मुझे लगता है मोस्टली लोगों की हो गई होगी। साइन अप करना इतना बड़ा काम थोड़ा ना है। मुझे नहीं लगता किसी तरह का इशू चल रहा है अभी वेबसाइट पर। प्रॉब्लम आपने ही कुछ ना कुछ और किया होगा गड़बड़ साइन अप करते वक्त। जिनका रिजोल्व हो गया इशू, प्लीज लोअर योर हैंड्स, प्लीज लोअर योर हैंड्स अगर रिजोल्व हो चुका है तो। 49 48 लोगों का मुझे नहीं लगता इशू आना चाहिए, बट स्टिल अगर आप लोग कह रहे हो तो लेट मी टॉक टू यू। गोरांश बताइए जी, गोरांश।
हाँ सर साइट ही लोड नहीं हो रही सर।
आपका इंटरनेट इशू होगा।
सर इंटरनेट इशू नहीं है सर, मैंने चेक कर लिया था, सब कुछ खुल रहा है, बस पेज लोड नहीं हो रहा था। पेप कोडिंग की साइट तक खुल रही है, नाडोज का पेज लोड नहीं हो रहा। लेकिन
अच्छा, आप कहाँ पर गए थे सबसे पहले? pepcoding.com पर गए थे,
हाँ सर, पेप कोडिंग लोड नहीं किया था।
लेकिन आपने नेडोज न्यू पर क्लिक किया है।
हाँ सर, वहाँ से सर लोड नहीं हो
यूआरएल
रहा
पढ़
सर।
यूआरएल पढ़ के बताओ।
सर पेप कोडिंग ही आ रहा है अभी तक तो, बस आगे का वो लोड ही नहीं हो रहा सर वही
अरे
आ रहा
क्या,
है, nados.pepcoding.com।
लोक का साइन आ रहा है या फिर नोट सिक्योर?
सर लॉक का ही आ रहा है सर,
लोक का
कनेक्शन
साइन आ
सर
रहा है, लोड नहीं हो रहा।
नहीं हो रहा सर, लोड नहीं हो रहा।
लेट मी चेक, हम अभी वेरीफाई कर देते हैं बात कि लोड हो रही है नहीं हो रही। बिल्कुल हो रही है भाई लोड, 100%, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम। सोच के देखो ना, मेरा भी सेम इंटरनेट, मतलब पब्लिक इंटरनेट है, आपका भी पब्लिक
सर
इंटरनेट है,
सर
और
नहीं हो रहा सर
वेबसाइट भी
लोड,
पब्लिक है।
बता तो रहा हूँ सर आपको।
नहीं कर पाया।
सर लोड ही नहीं
ठीक
हो
है,
रही सर साइट।
ठीक है गोरांश, थोड़ा सा वेट करो, फिर देखते हैं। ओके,
जिनका भी नहीं हुआ उनको मैनुअली कल करा देंगे ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
अच्छा चलो मैं हाँ ठीक है गोरांश,
ठीक है सर।
मुझे नहीं लगता थोड़ी देर बाद साइट करके देखना, आपको सिस्टम तो समझ में आएगा कैसे होगा,
हाँ सर, वो तो
ओटीपी
पता सर,
वगैरह,
लोड ही
ठीक
नहीं।
है। उसके बाद मैं आपको FGP1 में ऐड कर दूंगा।
ठीक है सर।
ठीक है जी, ओके गोरांश। ओके, वरुण की प्रॉब्लम रिजोल्व हो गई है। ओके ठीक है। अच्छा एक काम करते हैं, मैं सबके लोअर ऑल हैंड्स करता हूँ, किसको एक एक करके पूछता हूँ। लोअर ऑल हैंड्स, एक मिनट रुकना, अभी मत करो आप। अरे अभी मत करो, रुक जाओ भाई, रेज हैंड मत करो अभी।
Okay. All right. No. Just take 5 more
प्लीज
minutes.
जस्ट स्टॉप,
I have to teach
प्लीज
the
स्टॉप
classes well.
रेजिंग योर हैंड्स।
Don't bother about it, na.
I wanted to ask a question just. They are not letting me ask the question. Okay, your choice.
Arey, please, please help people. Take 10 more minutes. Helps
Okay.
sign up as many people as you can.
Okay. अरे भाई क्वेश्चन पूछने तो फिर रेज हैंड कर लेना, प्लीज डोंट रेज योर हैंड्स।
Don't bother. They are raising. Let them raise the hands. Don't worry, na. Help,
Okay.
help who you can. Who you would not be able to help, we will help them manually tomorrow.
Okay.
But if you can help at least 100 to 100 people sign
ठीक
up,
है
then
जी।
there would be only 50 under remaining. We
Okay.
would take
साहिल
them.
बताइए क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है यार?
सर जो अभी गौरांश का है वो इशू था कि साइट लोड नहीं हो रही थी,
अब हो
वो
गई।
वही सेम इशू है। मतलब बस वो मैंने क्या करा, नेट चेंज करा है, मतलब पहले वाईफाई पे था तो उस पे लोड नहीं हो रहा था, और
अब
अब
हो गई?
मैंने मोबाइल नेट करा तो उस पे हो रहा है। तो
हो गया
वाईफाई
लोड?
पे नहीं होगा तो मतलब स्पीड नहीं आएगी ना। अभी जैसे मोबाइल नेट पे मेरा अभी नेट अटक जाएगा थोड़ी देर बाद, अभी जूम मीटिंग भी मैं उसी पे चला रहा हूँ इसलिए।
हो सकता है, मैं बता रहा हूँ ना, देखो जब पहली बार नैडोस लोड होता है ना, नैडोस बहुत सारी चीजें लोड करता है आपके पेज पे, क्योंकि चैट वीडियो कॉल ये सब कुछ चलाना है। मैंने बार बार लोड नहीं किया, अब क्या करेंगे हम, लेजी लोडिंग लगा के इसको पार्ट्स में तोड़ देंगे कि पार्ट्स में लोड हो आपकी वेबसाइट पे। जैसे ये ऐप डाउनलोड होती है ना, जब पहली बार nados.pepcoding.com खोलते हैं, एक ऐप की तरह डाउनलोड होता है आपके ब्राउजर के अंदर। तो पहली बार आपको लोडिंग में टाइम लगता है, उसके लिए आपको एक अच्छा इंटरनेट कनेक्शन चाहिए।
पहली बार नहीं, मेरा अच्छा इंटरनेट कनेक्शन नहीं है, 100 Mbps है, लेकिन
हम्म
वो वाईफाई मतलब पहले मैंने लोड कर रखा है, अभी
हम्म
अब बस आज ही नहीं हो रहा है लोड वाईफाई से।
हो सकता है कुछ इंटरनेट
हाँ
इनका, जो हमारा होस्टेड वेबसाइट है और उनका आपस में लिंक हो। बट हाँ ठीक है, आप इंटरनेट कनेक्शन चेंज करके देख लीजिए, आपका लोड हो जाएगा। कुछ नहीं करना है, ईमेल अपना फोन नंबर डालिए, लॉगिन पे क्लिक करिए, मतलब नेक्स्ट पे क्लिक करिए। अगर आप पहले रजिस्टर्ड होंगे तो आप ओटीपी आएगा और ओटीपी डाल के सीधा एंटर कर जाइए। अगर
हाँ, वो
पहले
अभी
रजिस्टर्ड
मोबाइल नेट
नहीं
से
हो,
तो खुल गई, अभी रजिस्टर कर।
हाँ जी, तो अगर साइन अप पेज पर आता है, अपनी डिटेल्स एंटर करो, सब कुछ डालो, साइन अप पे क्लिक करो, ओटीपी डालो और एंटर कर जाओ। ठीक है, अगर किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम आ रही है जिसका नहीं हो पा रहा, बिल्कुल भी कह रहा है कि नहीं मैं तो हाथ खड़े कर रहा हूँ, आप करवा कर दो, एक गूगल फॉर्म शेयर हो जाएगा और वो गूगल फॉर्म भर देना, फिलअप कर देना, या फिर मैं आपको अपना ईमेल एड्रेस दे देता हूँ। एक काम करता हूँ, मैं आप लोगों को अपना ईमेल एड्रेस दे देता हूँ, मैं आप लोगों की मैनुअली प्रॉब्लम रिजोल्व करा दूंगा। नॉट ए प्रॉब्लम। ये मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस है, bhavesh.bansal@appcoding.com। इस पर मुझे मेल राइट कर दो, सर मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, आई विल कॉल यू पर्सनली एंड विल गेट इट रिजोल्व। ओके, और बहुत सारे लोग FGP1 में ऐड हो चुके होंगे। ठीक है, एक बार चेक कर लीजिए FGP1 में ऐड हुए हो। अगर आप FGP1 में नहीं ऐड हुए हो, कल दोपहर तक, मतलब कि रजिस्ट्रेशन होने के बाद अगर आप FGP1 में ऐड नहीं हुए हो, कल दोपहर तक, कल दोपहर को मैं लास्ट बार ऐड करूंगा सबको। कल दोपहर के बाद, अगर दोपहर में बोले तो 2 बजे, दिन में 2 बजे के बाद अगर आप ऐड नहीं हुए हो, आपको FGP1 नहीं दिख रहा, कहां पर दिखेगा FGP1 ये भी बता देता हूँ। सर का फोन नंबर है, और अभी क्लास खत्म नहीं हुई है, सर अभी आ रहे हैं, सर अभी आगे पढ़ाएंगे, तो प्लीज वेट। मैं बस एक बार एक चीज दिखा के आपको लीव कर रहा हूँ। 8 4 6 7। और जहां तक कि फोन पर ओटीपी आया करेगा, मेल पर बंद हो जाएगा ना इन फ्यूचर, 2-3 दिनों बाद ही बंद हो जाएगा बस। अभी हमारे पास ओटीपी नहीं थे तो हमें ये रास्ता अपनाना पड़ा। । 508876। हाँ जी, यहाँ पर देख रहे हो, यहाँ पर टॉप पर आपका FGP1 दिखेगा, ये सिर्फ आपके लिए फीड है, आपकी बैच की फीड है, ये किसी और को विजिबल नहीं हो सकती है फीड, ये सिर्फ आपकी फीड है और किसी को भी विजिबल नहीं होगी। इसके अंदर बहुत सारे यूजर्स ऐड हो चुके हैं, जिनका आज मैंने रजिस्ट्रेशन करवाया था ना, मैंने सबको ऐड कर दिया। ठीक है, इसमें अगर आपको सिर्फ सुमित सर की फीड देखनी हो, सुमित सर की सिर्फ फीड देखनी हो, जन 2-3 दिन में टैग्स का फीचर भी आ जाएगा। टैग्स में बेसिकली क्या होगा, आपको डाउट्स के पोस्ट देखने, आपको क्लास से रिलेटेड पोस्ट देखने, ये सब पोस्ट देखने, तो ये भी विजिबल हो जाएंगे। और सर की सिर्फ फीड देखनी हो तो ऐसे यहाँ पर क्लिक करना, और यहाँ पर सिर्फ आपको सर की फीड दिखेगी, फिर वरना अदर यूजर्स की फीड दिखेगी, जो भी आप यूजर्स हो उनकी फीड दिखेगी। ये सिर्फ आपकी फीड है और ये आपकी पब्लिक फीड है, जो सबके लिए फ्री रिसोर्सेज है, फ्री यूजर्स के लिए भी अवेलेबल है। ठीक है, ठीक है जी, तो आप मेल कर दीजिएगा अगर किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। बट मुझे लगता है कि सबको ऑलमोस्ट हो गया होगा रिजोल्व। जिसका रिजोल्व नहीं होता वो मुझे मेल कर देना, मैं पर्सनली रिजोल्व करवा दूंगा।
मैं गूगल फॉर्म फिल करा दूंगा।
ठीक है सर,
थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू।
किसी का साइन अप कराया आपने? एक बार चेक
हाँ,
करो
हाँ,
कितने
करवा
लोग
दिया
sign up कर
मैंने।
पाए। उसके रन करके बताओ
हाँ, मैं बताता हूँ अभी।
how many people are still remaining.
ठीक, सब साइन अप कर लेंगे, मैं अभी बता देता हूँ कितना रहेगा।
Great. All right, so I'm back. So I would stop the screen sharing for a minute. Okay, so where were we? All right, so some people might have signed in now, some people could have signed in, some people might still not be signed in. So even in that case, do not worry, we would then manually call you tomorrow and help you sign up. By tomorrow evening everybody would be signed up, and then I would discuss your queries in the Google form, the schedule, and any such thing. Anything about the recording that you're not understanding, we would set up that on Nados. So by tomorrow everybody would have signed up and registered for FJP1 feed. Coming back to the class, we were doing conditions. All right, conditions. On conditions we have done 2 questions, odd even and 3K. We were on this. We are still to do what? After conditions, repetitions, that is loops. After that, input, and after that our first proper question. These 3 things we are still to do. So for 3K, what we were doing, if marks modulus 3 is 0 and if it enters here, this means it is a 3K number. Else, which means the remainder is not 0. Now the remainder could be either 1 or 2. So if we do modulus 3 equal to 1, if the remainder is 1, we print 3K plus 1. And in this else block, it only means one thing, that it has failed both the conditions. The remainder is not 0, that is why we are in this else block. The remainder is not 1, that is why we are here, which means it could only be 3K plus 2. So this is one way of writing it. Now there is another linear way of writing it. I will tell you that. Now understand that and read it properly. It is very necessary what I'm going to do now. This same thing could be written, else and if could be combined. I would do it for now. If marks modulus 3 is 0, enter the first block. Else if, read it like that. If the earlier condition is not true, but this condition is true. If this is not true, but this is true, then we would enter this block. Combining else and if together. So this is a very powerful construct. And the else. So see this structure. How is this structure different from that? In this, there was if, then there was an else, then there was a separate if, then there was a separate else. In this, we are combining this else if together. If marks is remainder is 0, we go here. Else if, which means this is not true, but this is true. This is not true, but this is true. Then we enter this block. And reaching here means this is not true and this is not true. That is why we are here. So here it is 3K, here it is 3K plus 1, here it is 3K plus 2. So I would show you how to do that. All right, we go back to content. Can you also get me a mouse? That is a lot irritating.
Yes, sir.
Can you somewhere get me a mouse from somewhere?
Yes.
Going to getting started, going to grading system. We were using that question. All right. So instead of writing it like that, I would show you another way of writing it. We can comment it. Commented code never runs. What is a comment? Never runs. So you write a slash, an asterisk, and then you write an asterisk and a slash. So now this part of the code would not run. This is no code. This is just text now. Slash, asterisk, slash. So I'm now writing the other style. If marks modulus 3 is equal to 0. If remainder is 0, we would go here. What does else if means? Else and a space bar and a if. Marks modulus 3 is equal to 1. So the earlier code is now becoming more compact. Else. See, isn't it more compact? Just 3 lines. If remainder is 0, we go here. Otherwise, if the remainder is 1, we go here. Otherwise, which means neither is remainder 0, neither is remainder 1. That is why we are here. So using this, we would solve this question. Here we would do this. This is a better way of writing it. Here we would write this. And here we would write this. So this is more linear. If marks is, if the modulus is 0, we go here. If we are here, then it means the remainder is not 0, but the remainder is 1. And if we are here, it means the remainder is not 0, the remainder is not 1. That is why we are here. That it means the remainder can only be 2. Now I'll show you, run this for you. Input 8. For 8, what should we get? For 8, we should get what? For 8, we should get 3k plus 2. And we are getting that. For 7, we should get 3k plus 1. The recording will lie with you. So it does not matter whether you are able to understand it right now, you would be able to see it again. And if the input is 6, we would get 3k. So here it is, 3k. All right, so it is working. Now we would use it for this question. This question wanted something else. This question wanted what? So this I am commenting again. This I am commenting. This recording would stay with you, so you would be able to revise it when you want. So this is a similar kind of a question. This is a kind of a question where there are many conditions. So I will make what is called an else if ladder. Else if ladder. सीढ़ी बनानी है else if की. तो नोट्स में लिख लो else if ladder. ठीक है. तो अब देखिएगा मैं क्या कर रहा हूं. If marks greater than 90, we will go here. Else if ऐसा नहीं तो क्या ऐसा? इसको बोलते कैसे हैं? If not that, then this. I would write marks greater than 80. Understand it properly. So what does it mean? If marks were greater than 90, we would go here. If we come here, it means marks are not greater than 90, but they are greater than 80. Now I would write the next else if. If marks greater than 70. What does it mean if we are in the third else if? Marks are not greater than 90, not greater than 80, but greater than 70. Else if marks greater than 60. And the final else, which does not require an if. So if marks greater than 90, we would be here. If we are here, it means marks not greater than 90, but greater than 80. If we are here, it means marks not greater than 90, not greater than 80, but greater than 70. If we are here, it means what? Marks not greater than 90, not greater than 80, not greater than 70, but greater than 60. And if we are here, what does it mean? Not greater than 90, not greater than 80, not greater than 70, not greater than 60. That is why we are here. All right. So I would say whatever I have said. I would analyze it on the screen as well. So this is how we should have done this question. Just wait. Have a pen and paper and have a patience. So if marks are greater than 90, we were supposed to print excellent. Otherwise, we were supposed to print what? For 80 to 90, we were supposed to print good. So I would print good. Otherwise, you are supposed to print for greater than 70 and less than equal to 80, you are supposed to print fair. Meets expectations. And finally, we were supposed to print below par. I would analyze and we would submit it. All right. So let me analyze this for you. I'm cutting it and taking it on the screen for analysis. So I am going to dry run it for different cases. Or which one is this? Not this. Here. All right. I'm sure you can see my screen. Let us say marks are 95. What happens? This line runs, it is true. It enters here, writes excellent, and the program ends. If the marks are 85, what happens? Is 85 greater than 90? No, it is not. Then it drops here. Is 85 greater than 80? Yes, it is. It goes here and prints. Good. Now let us say marks are 75. What happens? Is 75 greater than 90? No. All right. It is not greater than 90. Is it greater than 80? No. We come here. Is it greater than 70? Yes. We enter here and print fair. So see how the code is flowing. Now let us analyze for 65. Is 65 greater than 90? No. Is it greater than 80? No. Is it greater than 70? No. Is it greater than 60? Yes. So we go here and prints meets expectations. Let us analyze it for 55. See how the control will flow. Is it greater than 90? No. Is it greater than 80? No. Is it greater than 70? No. Is it greater than 60? No. Then we go here and prints below bar. All right. So this is what is happening. Okay. Let us submit it. Let us submit it. Let us test it once. Let me provide input 63 and do a run. For 63, it has print meets expectations, which is okay. Above 60, less than 70 meets expectation. Let me enter 42 and do a run again. Then we would submit. So run runs for the given input below par. Submit runs it for all the test cases. Let's see if we get a correct answer. Marks 10 out of 10, correct answer. So what we have learned so far in conditions is 3 things. First was for odd even, just 2 conditions. Then it was for 3K. There were 2 styles of 3K, this style and the previous style. And then we have done our question on conditions. So this finishes our conditions. There could be other things as well, which we can discuss on NADOS. All right, we would post a doubt there, we would post a video there. Moving on to repetitions, how to do something over and over again. Loops, how to do something over and over again. So the first question that I have in mind for loops is print counting from 1 to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for doing something over and over again, we use while and for. There's also do while, but that is not as important. So while, we'll focus on while. For we would introduce in second chapter. We would do while statement now. So understand the basic structure. Line 1, line 2, while, condition. Line 3, line 4, line 5. All right. So how the CPU runs it? First it runs the line 1, then it runs the line 2. It checks whether the condition is true or not. If the condition is true, it runs line 3, line 4. Then it goes back to condition. And it checks if the condition is again true or if the condition is false now. If it is true, then it again runs line 3 and line 4. So I would tick it here. Again, it runs line 3 and line 4. Then again checks lines condition. If it is again true, again runs line 3 and line 4. Then again goes up and checks if the condition is true. If the condition is true, again runs line 3 and line 4. And again goes up. If the condition is false now, then it comes and implements line 5. So I would redo it for you once again. So how while works? Line 1, line 2, while, condition. Line 3, line 4, line 5. It runs this, it runs this. If the condition is true, it enters inside. It enters inside. If it is true, enters inside and runs line 3 and line 4. Again checks the condition. If it is again true, runs it again. If it is and again checks the condition. If it is again true, again runs line 3 and line 4. Again checks condition. If it is true, again runs line 3 and line 4. Again checks. Let us say the condition is false now. Then it does not print this and this. It breaks and print line 5. And it finishes. So it keeps on doing line 3 and line 4 till the condition is true. So let us write a program which prints counting from 1 to 5 and see how we would do it. I equal to 1. So a variable I has been made, the value is 1. I check while I is less than equal to 5 and do print I, print the value of I plus plus. What does I plus plus do? It increases the value of I by 1. So plus plus is an operator which increases the value of I by 1 and nothing. And lastly, I print done. So see what, let's see what would happen. I equal to 1. So in memory, here I would draw the memory. Here I would draw the what would output. So this line makes this line. When this line runs, a variable I is made, the value is 1. Now this line runs. Is 1 less than equal to 5? True. Print I. Print I matlab 1 got printed. I plus plus value got increased to 2. The code came here again. Is I less than equal to 5? 2 less than equal to 5? True. Goes inside, print I. Now 2 got printed. I plus plus 3. Again checks. I less than equal to 5. Is 3 less than equal to 5? True. Again enters. Print I. 3. I plus plus. It becomes 4. Again goes up and check I less than equal to 5, which is true. Print I, 4, I plus plus, I becomes 5. Again goes up and check, is I less than equal to 5? It is not less, but it is equal. 5 is less than equal to 5. True. Again prints I and again increments I. It becomes 6. Again checks, is I less than equal to 5? Is 6 less than equal to 5? No, false. For false, it does not go inside. It goes outside and prints done. All right. Now let me code it for you. We will code it for you. I'll code it for you. So we would take this question is a number prime. All right. It is for something else, but forget scanner. Forget scanner. Do not bother yourself with that. So int I equal to 1. While I is less than equal to 5, keep on doing this. Keep on doing what? System.out.println I. Do not bother about sign up. We would help you manually if you're not already signed up. Do not bother about seeing FJP1 in your feed. We would do that manually too. All right. In any case, by tomorrow, we would have 10 lakh OTPs. So it would not be a problem. I plus plus. And then I print system.out.println done. I've already told you the pseudocode. Now we are going to do it here. Let us give it a run. Let us give it a run. So let's see the output. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, done. So it has worked. Let us analyze it again on the screen. It is not necessary, but let us do it. Why not? Not this. Let's analyze it on the screen. So I take this piece of the code on the screen. I bring it here and let us analyze it. Simple piece of code. When this line runs, the effect is not on memory. The effect is on memory only. This is memory. This is stack. It is one type of memory. Let us not understand in detail. Let us call it stack only. And this is console where the output would come. Int I equal to 1. This impacts memory I1. While I less than equal to 5. Yes, it is true. 1 is less than equal to 5. Print I. 1 got printed. I plus plus. This impacts the memory. The value becomes 2. Again checks. 2 less than equal to 5. True. Again comes inside. Prints I. 2. I plus plus. It becomes 3. Again goes up. Is 3 less than equal to 5? True. Again enters. Print I. 3 got printed. I plus plus. 4. Again goes up. 4 less than equal to 5? True. Again comes inside. Prints I. 4. Value of I is 4. I plus plus. It becomes 5. Again goes up. Checks whether it's less than equal to 5. True. Again comes in. Prints I, which is 5 now. I plus plus. It becomes 6. Goes up. Check is 6 less than equal to 5? No. False. For false, it does not come inside. It goes outside and prints done. Right now, you should be having a pen and paper and writing notes and doubts, if any. Notes and doubts, if any, which you should be, after this class, posting in the Google form, which I would be clearing on Nardos. Once Nardos is ready, you would be right away posting the doubts on Nardos only and not in a Google form. So this is how the loop works. I hope you understand the loop. All right. So we have done this question. Now, how much have we done? How much have we done? We know output. System.out.println. We know variables. We know conditions. We have learned if else, and we have also understood if else if. After which we have just understood repetitions while. Now the last part, how to take input. All right. Let us focus on taking input. So for now, we will not go in details of taking input. Input means taking something from the keyboard and putting the value in variable in RAM. I would say it again. Reading keyboard and taking the value to RAM. That is what input is. How to do it. So right now, do not ask me what scanner is. Consider scanner like steering wheel, yeah, braking paddle of a car. You press the braking paddle, the car stops. Do not understand how it does so. Just think what it does. Let us bother about the proper abstraction. Let us bother about what it does. Scanner system.in. Scanner is something, scanner, like there's integer, similar way there is scanner. I could have said int I, similarly I am saying scanner SCN. So this is a variable which is used for reading from the keyboard. The type of the variable is scanner. Int I, what it means? The name of the variable is I and the type is integer. Scanner SCN, what it means? The variable name is SCN, it could be anything. And its type is scanner, which means it is used for reading from the keyboard. Equal to new scanner system.in. You need not understand new for now. Scanner or system.in. Just learn this line for now. We would be discussing it in OOPS. When we would be doing OOPS before linked list, that is when we would discuss new scanner system.in. For now, SCN is a type of variable of type scanner, which is used for reading from the keyboard. And how is it in, like I would say int I equal to 10, but for scanner, you have to write scanner SCN equal to new scanner bracket mein system.in. All right. Now, if you want to read something from the keyboard, how do you do? Int I equal to scanner dot next int. What it does? Any integer, if it is available on the keyboard, it pulls it from there and the value is assigned in the variable I. All right. So let's say this code was there. When this line runs in RAM, scanner is formed. Something is written there. It is just something which reads from the keyboard. Let us say now the user entered 10 on the keyboard and this line runs. What would happen is scanner, this is the keyboard. This is the keyboard. If somebody wrote something 10 on the keyboard, the scanner would go to the keyboard, read the value 10 and assign it to the variable I in the RAM. 10. All right. Just wait a little while. So we'll be doing it in detail. So I am deleting this code. Now what we are going to do is we are going to see if it can read from the keyboard. Int num equal to scn dot next int. The first line creates the scanner. The second line reads from the keyboard any value for the number. And let's see what we do then. System.out.println. Now I'm going to understand what plus does. You entered in double quotes plus num. So whatever would be the value inside the num would be printed. All right. So let me show you the effect of it. In input, I wrote 10 and then I ran it. In output, it printed you entered 10. If I entered 100 and I ran it, the output would say you entered 100. So actually it is reading from the keyboard. It is reading from the input. Let us analyze it. And then we would put two things together. All right. When this line runs, scanner is formed. What it is, need not bother. It is something which reads from the keyboard. Now when this line runs, it waits till the user enters something on the keyboard. And the user entered 10. As soon as the user entered 10, scanner pulls it from the keyboard and puts it on the RAM in stack. The variable name is num and the value would be pulled from here and put here. When this line runs, this is the output. Let us say this is the output. It would print you entered plus when something in double quotes is added to a variable. The variable value is pulled out from here and this is called a string. Something in a double quotes is called a string. The string is printed as it is and the variable, the value of the variable is used. So it would print you entered, the value for num it would pick from the RAM. Okay. All right. I would redo it. Once more. When the first line runs, scanner is formed. When the second line runs, it waits. For what? For user to enter, let us say this is the input section. This is the output section. It waits till you enter 10 and presses an enter. When you press an enter, it pulls the value, scanner pulls the value from keyboard and puts it on the RAM. 10 here, from here to here. When this line runs, Now system.out scanner.nextInt is connected to the input. It pulls information from there. System.out.println puts it to the output. So it would print you entered, the string first. Anything in double quote is printed, and anything after this, the value of that variable is pulled from the RAM and it is printed. So it would print you entered 10. All right. So I've shown you that. Now let us print counting. Let us print counting to any number the user enters. So instead of printing you entered num, I would do something simple. While I would print the counting till this number, int p equal to 1. While p is less than equal to num, whatever the user has entered, till that point, I would keep on printing numbers. System.out.println p, and then do a p++. After this, system.out.println done, which is not even necessary. Now we can print the counting till any which point the user asks us to. We will analyze this code right away. Input, let us say user entered 7 and I ran it. So we would have counting from 1 to 7 and then a done. I go to output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, done. So what happened? Let us analyze it. Let us take this code to our screen for analysis. When this line runs, we already know what happens. This is RAM. This is input. This is output. When this line runs, CPU when parses this line, the scanner is formed on the stack. When this line runs, CPU stops. It waits for user to enter something on the input line and then press enter. So user pressed enter, CPU ran this line and num got assigned to 10. This line runs, what happens? A p variable is formed with a value 1. This line runs, is p less than equal to num? Is 1 less than equal to 10? Oh, num, let us say user entered only 3. So num would have 3. Is p less than equal to num? 1 is less than equal to 3, true. So for true, it comes inside and does a print of p. 1 got printed. P++, p got incremented to 2. We again check. While p is less than equal to num, is 2 less than equal to 3? True. Again come inside, print p. 2 got printed. P++, p got increased to 3. We again go up and check whether p is less than equal to num. Is it true? True. Print p. 3 got printed. P++, p became 4. Now we again go up and check. Is p less than equal to num? Now 4 is not less than equal to 3. False. For false, it breaks out, prints done, and the program ends. All right. Now you have all the tools in the kitty, the basic tools. You know how to give output using print lines. You know how to take input using scanner. You know how to declare variables. You know if else, and you know loops. All right. This is where our first lecture generally ends. Actually, we should do one more question, but this is where it should end. All right. So what I now want to do is, for tomorrow, there is no homework. Whatever we have done in the class, you are supposed to do that, which means write that program. Which program? This last thing. In fact, I can give you a question. A very simple question. Okay. Or just don't print the counting from 1 to the given number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't print the counting to the given number, but print odd even. 1 is odd. This should be your output. Take a number. I would explain the question properly. Take an input from the user. Do not use the submit button. You have to use the run button because there's no such question. I am creating a question on the fly. So you have to use this question only, is a number prime, and use the run button. Use input and output. Do not submit, just use the run button. All right. So I'm making it obvious for my homework question. Take an input from the user, and print the counting from 1 to that number, but print 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd, 6 is even, 7 is odd. So print that. All right. I'm wrapping up the class. I've done one question less. I wanted to do it. I'm wrapping up the class. Not an issue. But let us revise whatever we had.
I have evidence.
Great. Great. Now I'm recapping whatever I have said so far. You were required to have a pen and paper and take doubts. Any doubt that you have, please enter into the doubt Google form. We have the doubts Google form now. FJP doubts. FJP queries is its name. FJP queries, it is called. Here is that Google form. I am dropping that Google form in the chat. Take that thing with you. All right. Just give me 1 minute. I am sharing that with you. Okay. Okay, just wait. Here is that Google form. I'm sharing that Google form where you would be posting your doubts. And I think most of you are now subscribed. Whoever is remaining, we'll subscribe them and register you to NAD. I am posting this thing, this Google form. I am posting it to the chat. All the doubts that you have made while taking the lecture, put those doubts in this Google form. Put those doubts in the Google form. Also, any other doubt that you have, any other doubt, like I am not signed up, when will I get a call? Enter it into this Google form. All right. Most of us are, how many? Do you have the report? How many are on Nados already?
Yes.
How many are there?
787.
So now 787, and how many are not?
136.
787 plus 136 is the data. 787 are on Nados, 136 are not. These 136 would be called tomorrow and we would sign up you on Nados tomorrow. All right. This is one thing.
And 787 FJP1 में add हो चुके हैं.
For this 787, you are on FJP1 mailing list. You are signed up on Nados and you are registered for FJP1 feed. These 136, for you, only the first thing has been done. You are not signed up on Nados and you are not registered on FJP1 feed, which would be done for you manually tomorrow. All right. You have taken your doubts on pen and paper. Put this in the Google form that I have just sent. Put in this Google form. All right. I have just sent you this a Google form in the chat window. Please post it in the chat, in that Google form, all your doubts there. Now the second part. Recording of this lecture has been made. Also the notes are there. The codes, I want to give the codes a skip for today. I would send you this. The codes are there in the recording. You can take it from the recording for today only. This I am not providing you. All right. So these three things are there. I will post these three things in the mailing list. I will post them there. All right. Some of you are not in the mailing list. Also in the mailing list, I would send one more thing. Link for tomorrow. Webinar link for tomorrow. This mail would come to you tomorrow morning. In tomorrow morning, I will send a mail in which there would be the recording, the notes, the codes would not be there, and link for tomorrow. All right. These things would be there. Now the next problem. The next problem is some of us are not in the mailing list. Do not worry. I am just about to give you another Google form where you can tell me whether you are not in the mailing list or not. Some of us are not signed up on Nados. Do not worry. I am giving you the same Google form. Some of us cannot see the FJP1 feed on Nados. For this, a Google form is coming. Please make a Google form for me and make me the owner. Have 4 questions there. Name, mandatory. Email, mandatory. Phone number, mandatory. Are you in the mailing list of FJP1? Are you signed up on Nados? Are you able to see FJP1 feed on Nados? All right. Give this Google form to me as soon as is possible. All right. So I'm sending you a Google form to collect this information from you. Fill this Google form up. We will contact you, help you sign up on Nados, help you register on FJP1 feed, and add you to the mailing list. All right. Tomorrow also we will have our class at 8 p.m. via Zoom only for tomorrow also. I have to make sure that everybody is on Nados. All right. Then I already told you recording. I would be sending 4 things: recording, notes, codes, and link for tomorrow in the mail tomorrow morning. Now your doubts, all your doubts that are getting collected in that Google form, I will see how many unique doubts are there. And for all the unique doubts, I will either make videos or post texts on Nado's FJP1 feed. But I am waiting for everyone to be there. The schedule of the class, the schedule of what we will be doing through the entire month, again on FJP1 feed. All right. Anything else? Homework I have already given you. The homework is very simple. Take input from the user and print the counting till that number. But with counting also print whether it is odd or even. Print counting with odd even statistics, with odd even data. Like 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even. This program will require everything you have learned so far. It would require you to take an input. It would require you to print output. It would require you to do repetitive tasks. It would require your while loop. It would require if else conditions. And it would also require variables. All right. So let us see whether you are able to do it or not. Okay. Great. Then please give me the Google form, the other Google form.
Yes, sir.
Send that to me on the chat, on the WhatsApp. Just wait a couple of minutes. I am going to give you the Google form that is required to help you sign up on Nados and register you on FJP1 feed. Most of you are there. Only 130 people are not there.
Yes.
130 people are not there, which will help in first half of the day tomorrow before 2 p.m. Before 2 p.m.
Send, sir.
Fill this Google form, the other Google form, if you are not on Nados. This Google form, if you are not in the mailing list, if you are not on Nados, and if you are not able to see the FJP1 feed, fill this Google form. The previous Google form is for your queries. All right. So let us meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. via a Zoom webinar. All the details will be shared on the FJP1@webcoding.com mailing list. Thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you. Bye-bye.